some texts and whatnot. Dave from MK1 has texted in to say, who kept this thing alive? Me. That's who. I'm without any shadow of a doubt, indisputably, the man. Sammy from Brighton says, looking forward to seeing you next season, lads. Make it so. Luke from 3CR says, this is the season that I finally admit that the Dons are more important to me than that South Coast team, whatever they're called. Bournemouth. Pete from MK1 says, I'm torn. The money-obsessed madman in me wants a day out of Wembley. The emotional fan in me wants to go up at home on Sunday. I think Wembley would be better that way. We can get more trees, etc. And Ralphie from Bletchley says that he's 84 and wonders if any listeners can beat that. Okay. I also have a roundabout guess, or should we leave that for later?
No, go on, check it in.
I have a roundabout guess that says Marsh End Roundabout. I'll be wearing something lucky. Jers, you're hilariously grumpy. Cherry from the Black Pearl docked at St Mary's Island.
You know, see, somewhere in the world that means something to someone.
Lisa's tweeted in to say she can't hear the radio station, not found. Vote Lisa in my absence and I'll listen later. Caroline then says, see, I wasn't going mad, so I'm guessing she can get there either. And Lisa also says, by the way, great performance last night, Brando. Which sounds rather... That's not a euphemism, unfortunately.
Who are misses?
Yeah. Okay, let me get rid of that and press that and go. This just in. Following on from the decision to bill Sunday's deciding game as the Scouts and Guides Big Day Out, head of all things money-making, Andrew Call Me Andy Cullen has indicted and indicted and indicated that should we have to endure the playoffs, then the following would come into force. The home leg playoff will be called the Anyone Who Lives in MK, Buckinghamshire or England Big Day Out, where people purchasing a ticket will be entitled to buy merchandise, drinks, food and of course programmes at playoff match rates. We understand that these rates will be the same, it's just hoped that there will be considerably more of them. When asked for plans regarding a Wembley final, he failed to answer, but just grinned ridiculously for hours. More on this if we can get the king out of his counting house before the beginning of next season.
OK, you can contact us by being covered in red dye, only to claim that you've come in fancy dress as a tomato, or alternatively, you can use more conventional methods. You can contact us on Facebook, and we're at facebook.com/the MooCamp. You can tweet using the hashtag the MooCamp during the show. You can email radio@moocamp.com. You can text 80085, but remember to start your message with, it brings a whole new meaning to being caught red-handed, or else it won't reach us. Or you can text direct to the studio on 07848 930 396.
Thank you very much. Paris Rayner's Facebooked in to say that he can hear us. Listener roundup. It's time. I don't think... Did we ever have a music for this? I don't think we have.
We didn't, no.
Okay. I think we've only done this once or twice. We don't get these figures very often. But due to the ones...
It's just when Ofcom send them in, isn't it?
That's it. Due to the ones of digital radio, and possibly for the last time as we're going to move to FM soon, we can get a fairly detailed report of who's listening, and we've got the latest report in now. There's some fascinating developments in our listenership since we last reviewed them, some of which were probably predictable, some make sense with hindsight, and others I really have no idea what's going on. We'll bring you the detail later in the show, but headlines can best be summarised like this. Our overall listenership has more than trebled. Hang on a minute. Thank you. Our listenership from within Milton Keynes has almost doubled. Our listenership from within the London borough of Kingston and surrounding areas has increased fourfold. Our international listenership has continued to increase, with more than 10% of our regular listeners coming from overseas. And listening figures throughout the programme are fairly consistent. However, the figures within the female age ranges 14 to 20 and 65 to 80 show a weekly increase of more than 75% during the Lexicon of Chav. Which, who'd have thought it? You got a granny. A granny.
Those aren't just any listener roundups. Those are MooCamp listener roundups.
More on that later on. We've got some more stuff.
It's the franchise. It's the franchise watch. It's the franchise watch. It's the franchise watch.
Okay, franchise watch time. This is where we tell you what you've told us. Is that right? Sounds about right.
If we're speaking to various other people who don't support MK Dons, that's accurate.
That's true, yeah, okay. You're not even a real club. You have no fans.
How appropriate, MK Dons fans dressed as pirates, thieving, club-stealing muppets.
Oh dear, at Sky Football, I've noticed on your Ultimate League you've included MK Dons but put in brackets Wimbledon. I hope this was a mistake.
Scum. Hashtag die Winkleman.
I thought that was really hard. I didn't know whether to leave it in, but it kind of has. Well, it's got impact. You franchise scum shouldn't have awards at your club.
Who did you support before the franchise came along? Never heard that one before.
I don't know if I can say this word, so I will bleep it out. Bleeps are useful. Fat Carl is new.
Is new.
The thought of losing out to a club that shouldn't even exist would make it worse. We must do it.
Does that mean they must lose out?
Just like they
they must lose.
Just like they must lose any other time if they weren't playing us.
Yeah. MK Dons, the club that shouldn't even exist, with the most plastic fans and overhyped manager, beat us 6-1. That's the real killer.
Well, we did steal a club, league place. Oh, hang on a minute here. Well, you did steal a club, league place, all for property development, and then your manager makes another something of himself.
Yeah.
Moving a club incomprehensibly wrong for greed. Clubs that remain antagonistic to its club. Hi.
It's kind of that, like, I don't know. It's like putting on a really comfortable pair of shoes.
It is,
like
yeah.
that.
Do we have an irony alert here?
Yeah.
Sour grapes from a horrible person. Hashtag STFC. Hashtag franchise FC.
Just make sure you finish job next Saturday and clinch second place as you are proper football club.
Great to see a proper club playing at home at Stadium MK.
That was a rugby thing. I quite like that. That's good.
MK Dons fans make me laugh. They have 46 games just like everyone else and they want to rely on other teams. FC franchise socialist.
I agree with
Hashtag Swindon.
If anyone knows what that means, please let us know.
I definitely agreed with that. Franchise FC's vanity white elephant with a crowd inside for once. Hashtag Saints. They're calling us Saints. That's brilliant.
I was giggling at these. Every neutral is behind MKD. Incredible achievement to get to the second tier after 11 years of existence.
The People's Club.
It's a really heartwarming narrative. Makes me believe anything is possible.
I'm usually hashtag against modern football, but MK Dons just remind me why I fell in love with the beautiful game in the first place.
Fantastic. Please don't let Franchise FC go up.
We're back to the norm then.
Hate to see Franchise FC in the Championship.
I'd be ashamed if we let Franchise FC go up.
I agree with every Wimbledon fan. Your club's a fraud. Hashtag Franchise FC.
Wycombe Wanderers FC will never be as much of a laughingstock as MK Franchise. Hashtag Wycombe Wanderers.
No one will be able to forget how they came into existence.
MK Dons, the skid marks on the pants of English football.
That's a new one.
That's a good one, that is.
Read this, you franchise, you franchise bleep tards.
Franchise watch. That we can do with that. LOL, MK Doms. Oh no, that's not the right one, is it? The irony of MK Dons being on their high horse, their high horse about morals of football. Hashtag plastic. Hashtag franchise. Hashtag.
I'm reading this out as it's written. LOL, MK Doms, you are the most hated team, franchise team.
MK Franchise is such a bleep club. I'd be disappointed with football and North End if they got promoted.
MK is a concrete jungle with zero history, just like football franchise, aka hashtag Asda FC.
Come on, Preston, don't let the bleepy my franchise go up.
MK Dons are franchise scum who deserve nothing. God's sake.
Swindon Field and Reserves team. Quality. Bleep off MK Dons, franchise bleepers.
It's all because Coops doesn't want MK to go up, just like every other football fan in the country. Hashtag franchise.
Great seeing some of our youngsters being part of a great franchise. Well done, everyone.
We just got rinsed by MK Franchise.
That was Doncaster FC. I missed the original text, but we apparently, our Twitter guys have been doing great things again and taking the mickey out of other clubs.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
MK Dons aren't just a franchise, they're a franchise full of Tories. The absolute dirty worst.
Can't you argue with that? Tory to the core, mate. Go yourself, Brando.
I responded to that one and went back and said, listen, I'll take the franchise bit. Quite proud of that bit, but don't you dare call me a Tory.
I know, I'm Tory to the core, mate.
He came back and he said, well, actually, it's the Tory bit that's the worst. So, can't argue.
A disgusting club, disgusting fans. The inflatable penises that they brought along was never more apt for a team in the English game. Wouldn't bleep on them if they were on fire.
Cheating, cynical bleeps.
As dirty, cheating, play-acting, time-wasting as MK Dons were, they were also inventive, creative, talented and entertaining. Honest to God, you could not make these up.
I know there are lots of teams who cheat and die, but what made MK Dons the exception was the fact that both Robinson and also one of his cheating diving players thought it would be appropriate to smirk at the home fans as they left the pitch.
Ooh, he gave somebody a look.
Smirky gave them a right smirk.
Ooh. He, Carl Robinson, seemed to be very pally with the referee and officials too. Lots of chatting and handshaking going on. You look after me, I'll look after you.
Something's
going on there, I reckon.
Someone suggesting that Robinson is friendly with officials.
It's not looked at him, has he, really?
No. MK were horrid to watch today. Cynical cheats, for want of nicer words.
Never mind, pal. Hopefully you'll get to film at a real football club later in the week. Hashtag franchise scum. I don't get that.
Franchise fans dressed as pirates at Rochdale. How apt for an outfit involved in the theft of a football club.
Excellent one. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful franchise watch, I may say so. If I can ask you to keep them coming in, please. We're getting more and more people now. If you see tweets, then retweet them using the hashtag franchise watch. Then it saves me looking for them. All right. Yes.
As you know, the Dons are the most popular club in the country, and Pete Winky Winkleman is not only the most popular chairman in the lower leagues, he's possibly the most popular man in football altogether. Oh, yeah. But just how widespread is Winky's fame, and who exactly loves him? We've done some more research this week, and we can now say that Walter White, White Goodman, Benny from Crossroads, Bernie Rhodes, Wes Rhodes, Wes Craven, Craven Images, Imogen Stubbs, Levi Jeans, Jean Shrimpton, Jeannie with the light brown hair, Cher, Prince, Madonna, Donna Summer, and Summer from Neighbours, all really, really love Winky. Unfortunately, there were 5 people we failed to reach out to this week. Dave D wouldn't take our calls, Dozy was asleep, Beaky had a nose around but wasn't really interested, Mick told us to get off his land, and Titch couldn't quite reach the phone.
Great one, thank you very much. Good work there, if I may say so, sir. Have we got any roundabouts?
Yeah, we have. We've had overwhelming response this week, which suggests it was really easy. I've picked a few out here. Mark from Netherfield says, fairly easy. That's simple. Campbell Park roundabout, because that's why they have the fair. Hugo from Oxley Park thinks it's all of them, as you have to drive to all of them. And Tanya from Broughton Gate thinks it's Abbey Hill roundabout, as I've actually given some thought to this, unlike Hugo did, and think the driving is a golfing reference. Which is quite interesting, because 2 of those are almost correct, but they're all unfortunately wrong, so keep the guesses coming in via the usual channels.
Fantastic.
The Lexicon of Chav. Of Chav.
Guess who's back? Welcome to the Lexicon of Chav, where each week we educate you, yes you, the educated elite, into the ways of the feral underclass that seemingly run our planet by providing detailed translations of common street talk. This week, the word under scrutiny is pyro. Common usage. Yo, brethren, you hear about the pyro that Osman let off at the football? Was a mad thing still. Definition. Good evening, Tarquin. My good man. Are you aware of the pyrotechnics that were on show in the observational area of our soccer ball match on Saturday afternoon? 'Twas a thrilling experience. Widely and incorrectly believed to have originated from the 2004 hit film The Football Factory, pyro was actually first used on page 137 of H.G. Wells' serialized version of The War of the Worlds, dating back to 1897.
It's time for the question of the week.
Just a reminder, the question of the week this week is, what will you be doing to bring us luck for Saturday? And other answers we've had so far. Johnny says, I'll be letting a smoke bomb off seconds before kick-off.
Same.
Kaiser Soze says he's going to be setting fire to his wicker man in Campbell Park. The victim inside will remain nameless. Family MK Dons fan says the usual brown enveloping the ref an hour before kickoff. Pretty expensive it is as well for important matches. Might need to get the